Now, how about them damn Celtics?
All right, we're here. Another Celtics video. Celtics offseason fully underway, and we're talking today about Nikola Vucevic. Got an email a few days ago from Rob Vera about a potential Celtics trade, how they could trade for Vuce, flip Simons, solve two problems, kill two birds with one stone. Then we're hearing reports from various sources. Mark Stein noting that there could still be a market, but other sources saying don't really know what's going to happen with Chicago. They don't really know if they're going to have to buy him out. I find it hard to believe they'll just buy him out. I wonder if they would just let his contract expire. Regardless, for the Celtics, from the Celtics perspective, it could make some sense. It could make some sense to see Vucevic join the Seas, especially if their plan is not to fully tank. And I can't imagine that's what they're selling Jaylen Brown on. I feel like that'd be, if anything, a little bit disrespectful to him. Like I don't think that Jaylen Brown would just willingly go along with the tank. Like you hear it every year, players don't take, organizations do. So I think you would have to see Jaylen and or Derek and or Peyton get hurt before they reach that point. And trading Simons for Vooch in some 3-team deal that can shed some salary would, kill two birds, one stone, give the Celtics a starting center, and also shed some salary, which would be a win-win.
Yeah, and it would be nice to get him on a buyout too, which has been part of the rumor that like if Chicago can't find a trade partner for him, then they would eventually buy him out. The problem with
Can
that
the Celtics do that? Can they?
if they buy him out before the season, yes. Because we were talking about it like with Dame and also like when Marcus got bought out, and I tweeted at Keith Smith and was like, hey, like this doesn't really make sense with the apron rules. Like, can you afford to sign him? And yes, if it's in the offseason, yes, you can. Even if you're over the aprons, which would be a good get for the Celtics, especially if he was to sign for cheap.
Yeah. It would also take them back above the second apron, which is another problem.
For now.
But then if that takes you above the second apron, then what? Then it's a different Simons trade. I feel like the only way Vooch makes sense is if it's a Simons trade that kills two birds with one stone. Like, I understand how it could certainly help them. I also, like, if Vooch gets bought out, at least if I'm Vooch, I'm not going to sign with the Celtics. I'm going to sign with the team where I can try to win. I don't think a buyout makes too much sense for either side, but a trade, you shed I think would be around $5 million in salary. I think Simons makes around 27. I think Vooch is at 22. I'm going to double check that. It might be a little bit lower, but you can shed some salary obviously that way. Rob Vera sent us a much bigger trade with like Kobe White and or Dosunmu and other players coming to Boston, Sam Hauser and others going out as well to Chicago, and a big clearing move. Vooch makes 21.4, so it would shed around 5-6 million for the Celtics if it was a Simons for Vucevic straight up, and then a third team takes on some extra salary for the Bulls. I wrote about it from the Bulls' perspective for Fansided's Bulls site the other day. Like, makes sense for them because they're not really finding any value. Getting Simons in would allow them to maybe explore a Kobe White trade because they don't really have the means to extend him because they can only offer him so much because he's only making 12 million, and so he's probably just going to test the open market anyways. So adding Simons would be, a safety net of sorts, and or just getting some value that they can flip down the line. For the Celtics, you would replace Nemish Queta in the starting lineup with Vucevic, which, I mean, at this point, maybe they don't want to do. Maybe they would just rather see what they got from Nemi, who's much younger, who maybe has a better long-term fit with the Celtics. And so maybe that's not something the Celtics are interested in. But at the very least, you'd get a guy who could help the Celtics win right now next to Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, and shed the salary, which at this point, based on the fact that we haven't seen a Simons trade, might be something that they are, one, prioritizing, but also two, struggling to do, considering we haven't seen a move yet.
Yeah, they did post. Taylor Snow did a web story on Anthony Simons, like 5 facts on the Celtics website. So they are acknowledging that he exists now. He's officially a member of the roster, even if they don't plan on keeping him around. They are informing fans about fun facts that are part of Simons' lore. With Vucevic, I do agree with you though. Like if he was to get bought out, I don't really know if Boston would be the place for him. Think about it. Like the guy's been in Chicago for years. Chicago have been consistently in the plan, always in the plan, always mediocre, always maybe they'll be good this year, but probably not. And if he was to join this version of the Celtics, it would be like the worst possible time to join a franchise that has consistently been competitive. Like they've set a winning precedent at the Auerbach Center over the past several seasons. Of course, like the franchise has a ton of history, but like in recent history, the Celtics have always been a powerhouse. Even if they're not winning titles every single year, they are amongst the elite in the NBA. To join them from Chicago on the down year and the gap year would just be almost like sitcom funny for Vucevic if he was trying to leave and go compete. But then again, if he were to join the Celtics, he would fix a major hole in their rotation. Like, they really don't have a starting caliber center. Maybe you could talk yourself into it being Nimi, but I don't think either one of us feels great about that. So if you brought in Vucevic, you would at least plug a hole that needs plugging. Like, even if it was a Simons trade, you would be robbing Peter to pay Paul, yes, but Peter has plenty of money. You don't really need Simons. You have Peyton Pritchard. You have Derek White. You should be able to survive that. And I think Vucevic raises your floor if you want to compete, especially.
I think I said it. I think a Simons for Vucevic trade makes sense for the Celtics and could make sense for the Bulls if they don't find a better offer for Vucevic, which doesn't seem like they are finding at the moment. I think adding Vucevic to the center rotation in any capacity is an upgrade and would help the Celtics stay competitive in the East. I mean, shit, man, like we're talking about Vucevic as if he's this over the hill player who, can't play anymore. He averaged 18, 10, and 3.5 last year on 53-40 splits. He's really good. Like he can really play basketball. The problem is I don't think the Bulls really want him right now. I mean, if you had to attach a second to Anthony Simons to shed the salary and give Vooch, like I wouldn't even hate that. Like he's a good basketball player. He could help the Celtics win basketball games next to Jaylen Brown, Derek White. And I mean, best case scenario, he works out and you get him on like a 1-2 year extension for $2 million, $5 million. Like I don't think it's a bad situation. And obviously right now, like actually, I don't even know if Anthony Simons is a better player right now. He's just younger. Like realistically, who's the better player right now? 18, 10 and a half and 3.5 on 50-40 splits, or Simons, whatever you put up last year, 18-ish. I don't even remember. You put up 19, 3 and 5 on 43-36. If I'm this Celtics team, I'd rather have Nikola Vucevic than Anthony Simons. If you're looking at it through the lens of we want to win as many basketball games as possible, I'd rather have Vuce than Simons. And if you're the Bulls, I think your goal is to lose. I think that should be the new goal. I don't think you should want to win basketball games anymore. And the fact that they are seemingly desperately trying to trade Vucevic kind of means that they're trying to lose as well. And if you're them, maybe you get Simons, try to flip him at the deadline, or maybe extend him, run a cheaper contract moving forward, and trade Kobe White, who probably has a lot more value right now. And maybe Kobe White is your key to getting a Jonathan Kuminga sign and trade done. But then you have Simons, so you still have a Kobe White type player on the roster. Like there's a bunch of reasons you could justify it for the Bulls, who are clearly trying to trade Vucevic and have been for a while. And if you're the Celtics, to help you win basketball games, and I know that might not be what people want to see this year, but I think that people have been so spoiled with the Celtics being title contenders for the past 3 seasons that there is value in just trying to be as good as you possibly can, even though you probably won't win a title. Like there is value in that. Like, and on top of that, I said it before, I'll say it again. If you have Jaylen Brown, you can't take. He's too good. Derek White's too good. Peyton Pritchard's too good. You have too good of a top 3 to tank in a weak Eastern Conference, unless those guys get hurt. And if they get hurt, then you change your, goals on the fly and you figure it out from there. But I'm Jaylen Brown, and you sit there and tell me, hey, you're not playing this year, I'm pissed. And I'm not going to be very happy moving forward. I'm going to want to win games, and Vucevic will help you do that. So,
Vucevic, definitely a better player than people think. Not to say he's like this world-beating all-star level player anymore, but like, I don't know, last year against the Celtics, he had a very good game. In Chicago, he made a bunch of threes. Like, he went crazy. Like, that is how Brad Stevens operates. He's like, oh, all right, I'll remember that. Like, if you become available, I will come and trade for you if necessary. I just don't know if Chicago will go get Simons. Like, I know, like, it doesn't really matter, like, what their fit is if they're trying to be bad, but if there's one position they have plenty of, it is the guard position. And that's the thing. But then they're trying to get rid of their starting big guy. So
they have too many guards.
They are trying to do.
They have too many guards. But if their problem is we literally cannot find a trade for Vucevic, and they're at the point of where they might buy him out, I would rather take Simons than buy him out. Right? Like I'd rather take something back and figure it out from there. Regardless, let us know what you guys think of Nikola Vucevic as a trade option for the Celtics. Appreciate you for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and all that. Sam, take it out.
Hey, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let us know how you feel about Vucevic being a potential target for the Celtics. If you subscribe, we are here every single day. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. We have other videos like these on the days in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find the two of us on Spotify and Apple too. All pods and recaps are there. So if you just want those followed, they'll go right to your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very, very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. Big shout out to all of you that have emailed this off season. This is your time to shine. hbtcpod@gmail.com. Our socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook's the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is Jack's Money NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.